Welcome to the Luxury State of Mind podcast, where we focus on intentionally crafting a life that feels tailor-made for you. On each episode, you'll learn how to create luxury in your everyday life and celebrate the uniqueness that is you. I'm your host, Damio Shodi, and I'm excited to help you develop a luxury state of mind. Hey there, welcome to the Luxury State of Mind podcast. My name is Damio Shodi, and I am so grateful that you are tuning in to the Luxury State of Mind show. And on this show, my goal is to help you live in luxury every single day of your life. So I always say it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter how many or what finances you have or where you're at currently in life, you can live in luxury today. And basically in this podcast, I break down luxury in 3 principles. First one being identity, second one being intentionality, and then third one being freedom of choice. And if you're like, what are those principles, girl? What are you talking about? Go listen to episode 2 where I break them down. But they ultimately teach you how to live in luxury where you are and to also go to where you want to be when it comes to a meaningful life. And when we speak about luxury, it's a life that is meaningful for you, that truly reflects your values. It reflects what you aspire to do, the impact you want to make, where you want to be, how you want to feel. All of those things are considered luxury. So on this episode, we're going to talk about one of the main things that people desperately want when it comes to living a life of luxury. I asked a lot of people when I was developing the show, what does luxury look like to you? Or what is one of the reasons why you're not able to live in luxury? And one of the major reasons and things that people kept saying was time. People feeling like there's a lack of time, constantly feeling like there's not enough time to do things. And maybe you can relate to that too. Constantly feeling time poor. There's just not enough time in the day to be able to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, or not even just accomplish, but just to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even got time to sit down and relax or to spend time with my family or my friends because the world is just constantly moving so fast, or I'm not really sure how to manage my time. I'm constantly late for things, or I'm not able to prioritize things and all these different stuff, right? So time, constantly feeling time poor. And on this episode, we're going to discuss 5 ways that you can create more time, because time is luxury. It is a commodity that you cannot get back. It's the one thing we cannot pay back for. We can use money to make more of it, to create more time or the illusion of more time, but we're not able to get time back when it's gone. So we want to be able to be strategic in how we're spending our time, and not just giving you basic time management tips and all these different things, which are important as well. And we'll kind of dive a little bit into that, but really how to look at, the mindset of how to create more time for yourself. Things that maybe you haven't thought about or have implemented in order to create more time. Because at the end of the day, you're a human being, right? You can't be in multiple places and operating in excellence in every single area of your life. And that's something that I too have to understand. Because I'm somebody that I like to, you know what I'm saying? Like when I do stuff, I like to do it well. I like to do it right. But it's like, I'm only one person. Like, be absolutely for real. Okay. Be for real. So we can do certain things and change our mindset in order to create more time, so we feel less time poor. Okay. So number one way that we can create more time and that you can help yourself to create more time is going to be in 2 parts. I'll say it in 2 different ways. The first way to create more time and feel less time poor is to delegate. Another way of saying that is to ask for help. I think it's important to acknowledge the areas that you are just not skilled in or not advanced in or just don't know yet. And being able to just ask for help in those areas. And when you're able to ask for help in these areas, it does 2 things for you. It frees you up. It gives you the mental capacity to be able to think more, because now the thing that is, bothering you or you just don't understand or you need help in is given to somebody else. It gives you more time to think. It gives you more time to relax because your mind is not crowded with what you're not good at. And then it also just increases your capacity. It increases your capacity to do more, because now with the thing, again, that maybe you're struggling with and not able to move forward with, and you've given it to somebody else, you can now actually achieve more. Creating more time for yourself is not necessarily about being able to schedule out every second and every hour of the day. It's about being strategic. And part of being strategic with your time is realizing that you can't do it all and you need to delegate. So an example of this, and this was something that I had to learn, especially on my break and hiatus from podcasting. When I was podcasting back in 2016, 2017, up until 2021, it was a one-man show. I basically ran my podcast all by myself. I did, for the most part, I produced everything. I produced the podcast from beginning to end. I got some help here and there with like graphic designs and templates for social media, but I was only reaching out to guests and doing all the things, which isn't bad, right? Some people actually have that capacity to do that and they're energized by that. But one thing that I did not like when it came to creating content was editing. I would literally dread editing a podcast. And it's not that I couldn't do it, but it was just something that it felt like it sucked the energy out of me. And I didn't understand the concept of allowing somebody else to help you, because I would look at other people online who had very successful podcasts and were creating content, and it looked like they're just doing it by themselves. It looked like, they're able to create everything by themselves. They're editing their videos. They're a one-man show. And it also looked like, but you probably have to have a lot of money to be able to invest into help. And I knew I heard some things about, you can get an intern. You can get people to help you. But I don't know, my mindset just didn't want somebody to help me. And then also I was scared that, okay, what if they help me and it's not the way that I want it to turn out? What then will I do? And then they mess it up and now I'm left by myself. And, so I had certain mindsets in that way. And I really had to think through what happened in the past and now what do I want to look like moving forward. And one thing that I identified before starting this podcast was I am not going to be the one editing if I can help it. I need help. And that's when I started looking for help. And thankfully, I have a team now that actually helps me edit my podcast, which I'm so grateful for, and was an answered prayer. But if I had kept having that mindset of, well, I'm the only one that can do it, this is what success looks like. It looks like the people who are ambitious and are, getting it and doing their thing, they just do it all by themselves. It really it would have continued to keep robbing me, and I would have just continued to keep feeling stressed and dreading doing the actions that I know that I'm actually called to do. You'll know when you're not operating in your zone of genius or in an area that's not the best, you just don't excel in necessarily, you can do it, but it would be so much easier for you to just hire somebody else. You know it because it drains you. And now you're spending time trying to create this thing. Maybe you're trying to create your own website. You're trying to, figure this task out at work and you're just doing it by yourself. And you may even think, because this is also a thing for me too, you may even think that people expect you to do it like this. Of course, you should be able to do it. Because if you can't do it, that means they're going to find you out. You're a fraud. You don't really know what you're talking about. So it's better I just keep quiet and suffer through this and figure it out versus just asking for help. But it really does block your mental capacity and your capacity to grow and your capacity to do more and be more productive in the things that matter, because it's the thing that is holding you is like a weight. It's like something that just continuously keeps holding you down. And it would be so much easier if you just ask for help. And then another thing comes up. What if I can't trust people? I can't trust anyone. Nobody can do it like me. But it's you don't have to give everybody all of everything that you're doing. You can give them little by little, see how they do. If they're successful with, the little that you've given them, then they're able to get more. And that's how you build trust with people. So you don't have to give people everything that you have just because, they're available. You can see what are they trustworthy with? What can they do? Do they do it well? and then we can continue to keep moving on to the next thing. Because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself the question, what do you gain when you don't ask for help or you don't delegate? What is it that you're gaining? Because where you're at currently isn't helping you because you clearly want to do more. So let's be more strategic with the time that we're operating with. If I'm not good at it, how can I get help? Can I ask someone? I remember when I first started my current role, I used to be like, man, like I don't really know what I'm doing. And I was scared to ask for help at first, but I'm like, girl, you're spending too much time like on something like hours when you could just literally ask somebody for help. But it's like, maybe embarrassment or that feeling of like, I shouldn't do it. And, like they're going to find me out, like that imposter syndrome. But the minute I asked for help, something that took me like 2 hours to do or try to figure out was solved in 5 minutes. Imagine the time. 2 hours, 5 minutes, 2 hours, 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you create more time for yourself. You delegate. You put systems in place and systems meaning like it can be people or literal systems in place that can help to create more time, that can create more time for you versus you thinking that you can spread yourself thin and do it all. And then it's like, you're not really living the life that you want to live because you just are spread way too thin. So first thing that you can do, be comfortable delegating, practice it in your everyday life, delegating to other people, not feeling like you have to take on everything just because you think that's what you have to do. Be open to changing your mindset. Be open to shifting the way that you think about a situation and think about how things should be, and be open to other things. Because if I had to look at it again, back to myself when I was first starting out in podcasting, I would have told myself that, girl, you don't even know that people are paying for help, or they have an intern, or their cousin is helping them, or, we just see a picture. And especially if that's the reason why you're not getting help, you see how other people are doing it, but it's like, you don't actually know what's going on behind closed doors. So mind your own business. I'll just ask for the help that you need. So that's number one. Be able to delegate or ask for help. Second one, in order to create more time, is to invest in knowledge. And this is going to be huge. I've spoken about this before on this podcast about being able to invest in knowledge and why this is so important. So when I say invest in knowledge, it can be either money that you're investing and or your time that you're investing, right? So I give the example of personal finances. Maybe you've been struggling with learning how to manage your money. And instead of just, changing course, it's like you just keep doing the same thing. And then it's like, man, I really wish that this, would change, and nothing changes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years keeps going. And the same result is being shown versus investing in a personal finance book. You read the book, you apply some of the principles or all the principles, and something that's taking you 5 years to figure out, you're able to figure it out in one book. Or investing into coaching, right? That's a big one. I mean, being able to learn from somebody else who has been where you are going or knows the strategy to help you get to where you want to go can help lessen your time. It helps speed up your time. Like basically when you invest into things like that, you're investing into managing your time. Yeah, you invest into managing your time and creating more time for yourself. You want to do actions that create more time. So if there's somebody out there that, you want to learn from and they're offering something that can help you, it's like, okay, like why not make the investment so you can get more time back versus you trying to always DIY things together yourself, which in that case does also take time as well. I absolutely love the opportunity to be able to celebrate with people and to know what they are doing in life that makes it more meaningful and more exciting, equaling luxury. So let's see what's in the inbox today.
So my 2 wins have been so exciting and kind of a long time in the works. First, I got a new job. It is my first job in a little over 4 years outside of the classroom. So it's really exciting after some time trying to make it out of the classroom setting to be back in an office and be back in corporate. So that's really exciting. I'm working as a recruiter for teachers actually now. So I'm on the other side of the equation, trying to find people like me or people who like I used to be. And the second win is I have become a finalist in the Education Pioneers Fellowship Program, which is a program geared towards individuals with traditional classroom or non-traditional backgrounds who want to try and make a difference in the education industry. So it would be very exciting for me to, now that I've taken this step forward out of the classroom, to take another bigger step and work with businesses that really do work that I am passionate about and who are really making some actionable, amazing changes in the industry. So it is really exciting to have achieve these two things and to be on the other side of so many hours of resume editing.
So congratulations to you, Shokwe. This is an amazing accomplishment for you. And personally, I know that you've been on this journey into getting into a new role, and it's just amazing to see it come to fruition. And even being a fellow in an area that you're passionate about and being able to work in education in the way that matters to you is huge. And that in itself is a luxury. Being able to even position yourself in your career to do the things that light you up and that inspire you. So again, congratulations to both of those wins. Thank you for sharing it with the community. And if you're listening and you're like, man, Dami, I have been taking action towards what I view as a meaningful life, and I'm taking those steps, whether big or small, I want to know about it. And we at the Luxury State of Mind community want to know about it too. So you can leave us a voice message that will be recorded through a link in the show notes where we will feature it on the episode. So click that link, that's a speaker pipe link, and you can easily record from your phone. And we just want to know exactly how you're winning in life and how you are making steps towards what a luxurious life is for you. So thank you so much for sharing, Shokwe, and let's get back to the episode. So being able to and willing to invest into knowledge that can help speed up your learning time is very valuable and opens up the ability for you to have more time. So think about it. In what area in your life could you invest in knowledge, invest into somebody else teaching you, whether it be through, even listening to podcasts? That's an investment into knowledge because it's investing your time, books, coaching as well. And that's shameless plug here. I'll even say that too. I'm also helping people learn how to do that, especially when it comes to podcasting and how to launch. Because something that I've figured from some women that I've spoken to recently that are interested in coaching with me is that they've been trying to podcast for years and just have not taken the leap. And years have gone by. And the thing is, if the same action is being kept, or the same action is being taken, another couple years are going to go by. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. So sometimes when you invest in people that can help you to progress forward, or invest in books and different things that can help you get the knowledge that you need, that can be helpful in reducing the amount of time so you have more time to do the things that matter to you. So if you are interested in starting a podcast and launching your podcast because you believe that you have a mission, you have something that the world really needs to hear, let me know. I would love to speak with you, and I can definitely leave that link in the description of this episode so we can have a conversation on how to launch your podcast so you're no longer wasting time no more. Okay? So that's number 2, invest in knowledge. Number 3, this is a time management tip. And I think this would be really helpful and a new perspective on how to look at time management. Number 3, having clarity on what you value will encourage you to manage your time. So having clarity on what you value will help you to manage your time better. If your day is filled up with things that you really don't care about, but they seem good, they look like they should be things that you should be doing, but in all honesty, it has nothing to do with what you value, most likely you will not want to do it and you will waste your time. But if your day is filled with things that you value and activities that really energize you, and you're doing things that are important to you, you will be able to manage your time better. So an example of this, let's say you work a 9-to-5 job and you want to build a business on the side or some kind of side hustle. Since this is something that is important to you, you will most likely create the time, even though you are working that 9-to-5 job. Or if your health is something that's actually now in this phase in your life, it's important to you, you'll figure out a way on how to create more time for that. And it can be something so simple as well. Like even with the health thing, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in the gym for 2 hours a day. Maybe that works for somebody else, but knowing the time that you have, you know you can't do that. So how can we incorporate fitness into a little bit more easier into your everyday, right? Or into your week. So once that is a value of yours, you incorporate that more. You do more activities that help meet that value. And that's something here that's important on this luxury state of mind, content, podcasts, is to understand, what do you value? That's the basis of living a luxury life. What do you value? What is the part of your identity? And part of what shows up in your identity is what you value. I don't have like the exact quote, but this was a quote by Dr. Miles Monroe. And he mentioned that time management is a form of self-love. And I think that's very true, because sometimes we feel such a distress and we feel a lack of time because our time is just not managed. Or it's not that our time is not even just managed. It's more that we're not sure in this new season of our life how to manage our time in an appropriate way and fit in all the things that matter to us, right? And that's even something that I was having to work through and figure out, because things are also changing for me as well. So something that I was trying to do, and maybe this could be helpful for you, is to really see how much time you have. So looking at a calendar and kind of blocking off the time, and not necessarily to look at the calendar blocking all the time and be like, okay, I have to stick to this and stick to that. But it's just like, for real, how much time do I actually have in a day? And not how many things can I fit into the day, but for what is important for me, where can I allocate that time? Where can I put time on the calendar for that? What does it look like? Instead of just assuming I have the time, let's count the cost. What time do I actually have? And then you become more intentional about how you're managing that time. So maybe you should try that exercise. And if that's something that you were like, can you show me how you do that? Maybe that's something that I can do as well. Leave that in the comment below, especially if you're on YouTube. Let me know that. Is that something that you want to look at, how to basically learn how to assess how much time that you have and how to manage your time? Because managing your time is a form of self-love, but we want to manage our time based off of our values and actually what's important to us. So we actually feel in our everyday that we're doing things that fill us up. Even though we have our responsibilities, even though we have things that we have to do, we can still make time for the things that are valuable to us. Okay? So managing your time based off of your values is number 3 in creating more time for yourself. Number 4, putting boundaries around what you consume. And this is huge. This is super important. Some people think, and I think a lot of people think, that what you just consume doesn't matter. The type of information that you're consuming and all these things doesn't matter. But really, it does affect your subconscious. The type of music, shows, even people that you listen to, maybe through podcasts or content on the internet in general, do have an effect of how you spend your time. Because if your time is spent listening to something that's just not productive and is not putting you towards where you want to go, then that's just what's going to happen. Like, you're going to adopt the behaviors and the mindsets that you're learning from whatever you're consuming. That's what you are shaping your mind to become. And another version of that is if we're spending too much time watching TV. I actually had to get myself together recently about that. There's a show that I just love watching. I was like, Dad, you sitting there? I'm like, ooh, they messy. And I sit there, I'm laughing, having a good old time, yelling at the TV. I love yelling at the TV. I'm a commentator, so yelling at the TV, having a good old time. And I'm like, babes, like you have to actually like get on up and like read a book. Like be absolutely for real. Like what's going on? And I had to kind of check myself that what else could I be doing with my time? And sometimes, watching TV is not bad. So let's be like also for real. It's not bad. But if it's not allowing you to do what it is that is actually important for you and for the results that you want to see, or it's stopping you from getting those results because you're spending too much time, then we just have to reevaluate, right? So putting boundaries around what you consume and how much you consume. What are you allowing into your mind, your heart, your soul? Like, what are you allowing? Is it detrimental? Is it stopping you? Because you're consuming all that information, but now you don't have time to actually do what is necessary. So look into that as well. Put boundaries around what you consume. It could even be social media as well. Like what boundaries can you put on social media? Because I keep seeing it more and more, like, how, like, I guess as a culture, we have a social media addiction and just a phone addiction in general. And it's like, what boundaries can I put? Do you not scroll? Or do you not have, maybe you only have a social media that is for your business versus having a personal one, or maybe you allot a certain amount of time, or you put limits. Like at the end of the day, we just want to live the life that is luxurious and that is meaningful. So if anything is stopping that, it's sucking up your time. And that's possibly why you feel like you ain't got no time. Okay. So that's number 4, putting boundaries around what you consume. And then number 5, uncomplicate your routines. This is also a big one. You don't need lavish, crazy 20-step routines unless that's what you like and that's like relaxing to you and that energizes you. But if you're doing it because, let me tell you something, this internet will have you broke. Okay, you'll be thinking like, oh, I have to have all these products to get my skin together, I gotta do all this, I have to do this 10-step process. And it's just like, but do you though? Or is it good marketing? Like a skincare routine, can we uncomplicate that? Does it have to take long? Is it taking up too much time? Or is how you make your food? I have significantly reduced the how will I say it? Like how I cook now. Like when I was a little bit younger, I would make really elaborate meals. I would cook a lot of things from scratch. I just had the time. I don't know. I had the time, the energy, and it was just the phase that I was in. And I thought I would always do that and keep that up. And I did for a while. And then it was like, I just want to eat more healthy and all these things. So I'd keep that up. But now my meals are so simple and basically systematized, if you will. I don't overcomplicate. And that's just, again, where I'm at right now. This could be, I might get back into another phase of my life where I want to be more lavish with my meals. But at this time, because of I need more time in my day to accomplish the different things that I'm doing as well. And just to be happy and live, I have significantly reduced and made my cooking routine much more simpler. So I'm not investing so much time into cooking anymore. So I eat relatively the same type of food, like from home. I realized that in order for me not to eat out, I need different variations of food, like at least 3 different things that I could eat throughout the week. That helps reduce the amount of times that I'm eating out, because that was something that I wanted to focus on. I still like eating out though. That's, I still like food, but I just wanted to help reduce that. So I'm not questioning what am I going to eat all the time. And then when I don't have anything to eat, then I just go eat out. I mix between like cooked meals and also frozen food, a little bit of frozen food as well. And different things that I like and trying like new ones every week or so, or every other week. So it's working for me. And this was not where I originally thought I would be, especially, when I was really adamant, and I still am on like being healthy with my food. But now I'm just like, I just need to to just reduce. So I'm not complicating, what I'm eating. Maybe for you that looks like creating the same meal like every Tuesday. So maybe every Tuesday, you're going to have tacos, it's Tacos Tuesday, or have Pizza Friday, or one or two meals a week, you're going to be going out to eat, and you just know that. And then the other ones you prepare for, versus feeling like you have to cook elaborate meals, especially if you just don't have the time. So at the end of the day, you have to look at your time. How much time do you have? Not what everybody else has. What do you have? Do you have time to cook all that food? Do you have time to go and make all these elaborate meals, or to do all this skincare for 1 hour a night? Telling you, it's good marketing. It may not be necessary. It's just good marketing. Okay. So be mindful. Some of the stuff we think we have to do is just good old marketing. Assess your own life. Assess your own time. What do you have? And is the time that you have, are you allocating it to the things that matter to you? Could you be using your time in a different way? So just uncomplicate your routines. All right. So 1, delegate, ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Just allow somebody who has a better skill set in that area that's giving you a problem and is taking so much time and just dragging along. Allow them to help you in your journey to wherever it is that you want to go. 2, invest in knowledge. Seek out knowledge from people, especially people who have results that you're looking for, that, can help you in investing in books and other resources like that. 3, get clarity on what you value and then manage your time around those values. 4, put boundaries around what you consume. And 5, uncomplicate your routines. So I hope this episode was helpful for you in helping you to feel less time poor and helping you to have more time and create more time so that you can do the things that you value. So let me know what step you will be taking. What step will you be taking so you can create more time in your life so you can live more in luxury? And if this episode helped you, share it with a friend as well. Sharing is caring. Let the girlies know what is going on the Luxury State of Mind podcast. All right. I will speak to you on the next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening to the episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please share with a friend and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also view the full episode on YouTube. Thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you on the next episode.